Hello, this is wmpyr, here to talk to you guys about the Blender. Okay, so this is just kind of like an explanation video. So first of all, the difference between the flail and the Blender. The flail is you're using one arm, okay, and then the Blender is you're using both arms. So that's really the only difference, okay. They're pretty much the same idea, the same thing, just one arm versus two arms, okay? Sometimes you can't use both hands, so you can only use one. Whether you have two weapons or not, it's just sometimes that happens, okay? You might be grappling or injured or whatever, okay? So, yeah, let's go into, the first thing is, well, anytime we're talking about the flail or the Blender, this is not flow training. Okay, so free flow training is you're relaxed and it's almost like doing Tai Chi, and you might be doing some pretty complex movements. And you know, you're having fun doing that. You know, it's creativity in motion, it's art, okay? And you can put in all kinds of different things and try to flow from one technique to the other. It can also be very experimental at the same time. But when we're talking about flail and Blender, that is not what this is. Flail and Blender, you're really thinking about real life application. So in that case, when we're talking about real life application, we don't want it creative. We want it simple. Very, very, very simple. So I want you guys to think of like the straight blast in JKD or the chain punch in Wing Chun, okay? In boxing, it would just be the 1-2, 1-2. In MMA, it's called the blitz. So what we're doing here is something very, very simple. It's just a circular motion like this. Now, because we're thinking about real life, notice my stance. I'm not doing it like this. I've seen a lot of people, you know, they do stick training like this, boom, 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 heaven, six like this. No, I'm here in a fighting stance. Now, what makes a fighting stance is, A, I want to be bladed. Okay, so I don't want to be just standing like this square. Boom, 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 boom. No, bladed, okay. The other thing is, notice I get lower. My base is wider. My legs are further apart. Okay, so I get lower. The other thing is your arms, right? There's many, you could have many kinds of arm. You could do something like this, like the Heaven Six. You could have like this. You're going to have like this, you're going to have more like that. The main thing is don't have the weapon in front of your face because it's going to hit you. Okay, so boom, right here. Don't have the weapon. If not here, here. This is fine, okay? See, this is okay. This is fine. When you start doing this, you start doing something like this, then you're making yourself vulnerable. So that's another thing to remember. All right. So we get into this lower stance, we're bladed, and then from here, you see, this is, whether I have weapons or not, this is a fighting stance that I could utilize. I could be hitting this, kicking this, all kinds of stuff. So I'm in a good position. I'm not just like this, like that, right? So get into a fighting stance, and then from here, this is what I'm doing. I'm making a circle here, and I'm making a circle over here. Once again, not like this, in a fighting stance, right here, circle. This circle covers the front. This circle covers the side, right here. All right. So it's not this. Okay. I'm not doing this. Okay. Where right side, left side. No, front and side. Okay. So I'm doing this kind of motion right here, and the idea here is the same as a lion tamer. If a lion wanted to kill the person, the lion can do it. But the person is using a whip, and the whip is psychological control over the lion. And this is the same idea here. Against the bad guys, if there's like two, three bad guys, there's no way I can win. I'm using psychological control. The speed is very, very important here. So I need it to be super simple, and I need to be able to go really fast, okay? So when I hit, boom, boom, right here, 1, 2, 3, okay, it needs to be Very fast, very simple, not complicated. Just think repeated circular motions, okay? So boom, 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 boom. And then that may not be enough because they're gonna test it. If they really wanna get to me, they're gonna go, you know what, I'll take 2 or 3 of those, but I'm gonna come in and then I'm gonna really hurt you. That's what they're thinking. So then I got to, speed is not enough. That's where I need to put in power. So I'm doing this right here. They come in to test. That's when, boom, I put in the power. Notice my arm is crossed now, okay? When you put in the power, your arm gets crossed, but that is when we go into heaven 6. When the arm gets crossed, because right here, when I'm just doing this, arm doesn't get crossed. It's super simple. No complex motion. It's just a circle and a circle right here. And then they try to test me. Boom! I counter that with a big swing like this. My arm is crossed, but I do the heaven 6 and I recover back to this position. So I come right back to simplicity. Okay, so that's the idea right there. So once again, from here, I can, boom, come in, and here, heaven 6, and back to simple. Okay, back to the circles. Now, the other pattern that we can use is both sticks simultaneously, like this. Boom, 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 boom. And this, you see, I'm just doing a figure 8 motion, and the idea is like I'm swinging a chain around. So it's nice and simple. Once again, makes it harder for them to come in. It changes the pattern a little bit. So I could throw them off and then go back to this one here. And then at any time, I could come back to this and then come back to here and come back to here, okay? And if they test me, that's where I could put in power, go to heaven 6, and I could even go to both sticks simultaneous. The advantage of both sticks simultaneous is if a strike comes at me, wherever, right, just randomly, it comes in, boom, I can use double sticks like this, boom. So at any given point, boom, right here, and this can take me using both sticks simultaneous right away without interrupting the blender. But I can still be defensive, and I can still go into that and come right back to this, or I could go into a heaven 6 more complex, but then I could simplify it. And that's the key. Keep it simple. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.